Abigail de los Reyes says she couldn't bear look at her husband's body. Henry was riddled with bullets when he was brought to the morgue, along with at least 14 others who were killed last week. The Philippine military says there was an armed encounter between its forces and the communist rebel group called the New People's Army. It says the group led a small cell in Batangas province, a few hours away from the capital, Manila.
This is a success because all of them except for about two managed to escape. And this is very critical in this area because we managed to decimate the whole, not whole, but there were I think about 7 or 8 left.
But his family denies Henry took up arms against the government. They say he was a farmer and a community volunteer who was born poor but had big hopes for his children.
I almost fainted when I saw his body. Others had their innards coming out while the woman had big holes in their chest. All of them were naked. Suppose they were rebels. Did they deserve such punishment?
The communist rebellion in the Philippines is one of the longest in the world. The New People's Army wants to set up a revolutionary government, which it says will address injustice in the country. But shortly after he was sworn into office, President Rodrigo Duterte declared a one-sided ceasefire in the hopes of finally bringing an end to the decades-long communist rebellion. But after months of failed negotiations, Duterte says his government has had enough of the rebels' repeated attacks against government forces.
Well, as things stand now, there's not much to hope for, no? Because the lines have been drawn, the hostility has been expressed, but if I may just quickly add, it doesn't mean that everything is lost.
Despite decades of negotiations, members of the communist movement say the government continues to be fixated on ceasefire mechanisms and combat operations instead of addressing the root causes of rebellion. And this is poverty, inequality, and the lack of social justice. The lack of decent jobs and social services in far-flung communities have forced many to join the rebellion. And even the government admits this to be true, that for as long as people feel oppressed, many will see that the only solution can be found at the end of a gun barrel. Jamela, Alindogan, Jazeera in the province of Batangas, northern Philippines.